You're listening to the AID Network.
Friends, I have to ask you, how strong is your pen game? Are you in the pen war? If so, are you fighting it as strongly as you can? Because the pen game, well, it reacts to those that are strong. There's no room for the weak in the pen game. That's why our sponsor is pengamestrong.com. If you've bought any pens from me, they've always come from Greg Kerr over at pengamestrong.com. This is the deal I have for AID listeners. You ready for this? You can get 100 pens, 2-color, black dye, soft enamel for as low as $210 delivered to you. No hidden fees, no shipping. You want to do a special die cut? Let's take it up to $255. Now, let me do this math for you if you're trying to figure this out. That means you're going to be paying $2.10 to $2.55 a pen. Pens sell for $10. You do the math. You're making 7 and some change per pen. Maybe pad your shipping. You're up to 8. You want to send out a great gift to all your clients and say 2018 was so great, can't work again in 2019? Isn't that worth $2? Make a card from jackprince.com, put some shipping in there, $6 out the door to all of your clients and saying, hey, here's something fun I made. Don't forget me. Why are you not doing this? But let me tell you, I'll tell you when you need to do it now. The cutoff for Christmas is ASAP, as soon as possible. Head over to pengamestrong.com. Tell them Bricky and AID sent you and save. No hidden fees, no shipping fees, 2-color pens, 100 as low as $210. Get on it. I'm telling you, you will not regret getting involved in the pen game. And when you do, make sure your pen game is strong.com. Today's logo show is brought to you by members of the Circle of Trust. Did you know that members of the Circle of Trust is what keeps this project going each and every day? Without the members of the COT, it simply wouldn't be here. The biggest gamble I took in my career was saying, this is worth money, and I want you to pay me just a little bit for doing it. And by doing so, I was able to turn it into a business, and that was done with the people that believe in me and the show, and that is my members of the Circle of Trust. I'd like to give a shout out to a COT member. This is somebody who you should go check out. His name is Carl. He's a COT member. He's one of those folks that has a day job, but also loves to listen to Adventures in Design to help him through his side hustle. Go over to Carl, C-A-R-L, Medley, MEDLEY.com. Fantastic painter. I went over to his Instagram account and go, this makes no sense. This guy's way too good to have an account at this size. So let's give a COT hug to our buddy Carl. CarlMedley.com, a Circle of Trust member, a proud supporter of Adventures in Design. And guess what? You sign up at AID.network. I'm going to give you a shout out. Anybody that signs up today, you're going to get a shout out on one of these episodes or Old Friend Week next week. I will get you in order. Sign up today, AID.network. Become a member and a supporter of today's show. Carl, thank you so much for making today's show. Couldn't do it without you, buddy. I'm glad you're my partner. I'll see you over in the Slack channel. Let's get started with today's logo show, presented by Carl.
Coming to you live from the Saul Rosenberg Studios, broadcasting worldwide into all ships at sea, here comes another action-packed episode of Adventures in Design.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Logo Show. On today's show, a very, very special Logo Show. But as always, let me introduce my cast of characters. Every Logo Show wouldn't be a Logo Show without none other than the Dan Stiles from Portland, Oregon. How are you, sir?
It's always the three of us. Is it any? Do you have Logo shows behind my back?
No, baby. You know you're my number one.
Never, Dan.
Never.
If somebody comes on the show like, hey, did you see that, Brandon? And I go, stop right there. This is branding, discussion, adultery. And also, we have on Billy.
Hello.
Billy. Who's also always on the Logo Show.
Billy, I have to tell you, sir, that I am shocked at how many people took our final episode, Orson Welles tribute, as a serious thing. Like, there are people that don't know there wasn't a terrorist attack last 4th of July.
I think people still think I got kicked off the show.
I think so too. My favorite are people that are just like, unsubscribe. It's over. I don't have to pay for this. I'm out. Done.
Did you get people who took it that seriously?
Oh yeah. I had to write a lot of people that day and be like, it's not really over. It's a Halloween prank.
Give me my money.
Yeah, I could use your money. All right, let's get in. Here's what we're doing. Today we have a very, very special logo show. It's one that I'm very proud of. Is Dan?
Yeah.
There he is. He's
Yeah.
back. He's back,
All right,
baby.
all right.
He's back. Don't fret. Dan's back. We have a very.
Our internet's been being sketchy, so.
Oh, mine is being clutch. I spent a lot of time fighting the internet company the last week. Here's what I got for you today. I have a list in front of me of the 50 most iconic T-shirt designs of all time. Now,
T-shirt designs.
yes. Now, of course,
T-shirt show.
we can't break apart all of them, and we don't have a before and after to critique. But I thought looking at these T-shirts would be a great idea to look at how culture affects the way that we see design, the way that we feel about design, and also the difference in making icons and making logos. Are you guys down for the challenge?
I am really hoping these are all sports T-shirts.
You wish. Okay. Obviously, we can't rip them all apart, but I'll just put them down. And if one grabs your attention, by all
Wait,
means.
did you send us a link?
No, I'm going to read them off to you. That keeps the surprise coming.
Oh, yeah, but
Then I just picture it in my
I
head.
can't judge it from just words.
I don't have an image of all of them. I know what they look like. You got a Google machine in front of you.
Oh, okay, you just want us to Google them.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got a Google machine.
Hold on, let me fire up the old keyboard.
You got
Okay,
it.
I'm ready.
Number 50, CBGB.
Okay.
All right, I can tell you right off the bat, I'm gonna have a really hard time separating the actual art from
Exactly.
what these things mean.
Exactly.
Well, that's okay. I think they're one and the same, right?
I think that's
I mean, for a lot of brands, yeah. I mean, the Ford logo is just the word Ford, but it means a lot to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like this one, is this any good? It's not bad. I hate the new OMFUG thing they added 20 years ago. That's bullshit. But
What does that stand for?
that's the other. What does that stand for, Mark?
so the top part is country bluegrass bar, correct?
I don't even know.
Okay.
I believe that's what it
cool.
is.
I never even knew that.
And the OMFUG, that is, I can't remember what the fuck that stands for.
It's some other shit, but they added it way later.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. What I think that we can learn from some of these, like this particular one, I mean, all of these were affected by the culture. But when we look at the CBG, I think that what we're seeing here is the personality, right? Like this was punk before we knew what punk was. In fact, it wasn't a punk bar when they opened up. It was adopted by the punk culture. So,
Well, that's why the type is Western.
yeah. But, being printed over and over again, like I think that it started out as Western, but if you think about it in your mind, you see it as textured and worn. And that's something that got kind of added to it over the years.
Well, this is pretentious big umbrella design talk here.
Yeah.
And it relates to what we're talking about. There's two very distinct parts of design. There's the intellectual aspect of kerning and spacing and just general aesthetics.
Yeah.
Right? Of design, color theory, and all that shit. But then there's the emotional aspect.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's
what that brand means to you, the history of a brand, the story of the brand, and all those things. And that's what and that's sort of where you can judge a CBGB t-shirt.
And I think that's going to be a lot of what we're getting into today is sort of the emotional effects. And I think where we can draw the lines between lessons learned from these 50 marks, it's kind of a looking back at something that you see it now and you're like, oh, this is an icon. But what are the clues or the design parts of it that related to that? So I know today's a bit of a different episode, but I thought it would be a good challenge for our
interesting.
panel.
No, it sounds fun. But I do think a lot of these are going to boil down to, it's a mark, but it's all about, whatever this means to me.
Let me add a layer. We can ask this for every shirt. Do you own one or would you own one?
Oh,
I've been looking for a CBGB t-shirt for years, but it has to just say CBGB. It can't have the OMFUG and the other bullshit that they've added, which means I'm just never going to get one. It's like trying to find a Misfits shirt without the trademark symbol on it. Now you can't get them anymore.
yeah. I would for sure wear a CBGB shirt. I mean, there was a moment when I wouldn't have, but I would now. I feel like it's long enough from it. All right, number 49. This one I have no opinion on. It's Save Ferris. It's like a political pun shirt. We can move past that. Like I said, we can't go through all of them. 48. Hello, my name is. We've all seen the Hello, my name is shirt, right? Basically, that's just sort of playing into a pop culture. That's more kitsch than design.
Yeah, I am curious where that name tag. What is the history of that name tag, though?
I don't know. We could do a whole episode on the Hello, my name is name tag.
Yeah,
it's pretty classic.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like that fancy Solo cup design from the 80s.
Yeah, it's like the New York City coffee cup that everybody worships with the pattern on the outside, the Greek pattern.
Yeah. Hello, my name is a shirt that I would not wear. I'm intellectually and cool guy wise, I'm way beyond that. To me, it feels like the shirt that somebody from the Middle East comes to America and like, oh my God, I've always wanted one of these. Like, I feel like that's how this is a shirt that I only feel like it's sold in like a shop in New York City and San Francisco.
So when you buy one, does it have a name on it?
No, it's blank.
Would it just be blank? You have to marker your own name on there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you do.
So I'm looking at a couple examples online, and regardless of the design, I'm looking at all that white ink and just thinking about how uncomfortable this shirt would be.
Oh yeah, you're sweating underneath that.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's the worst. And it'll crack after like 4 washes.
If you get stabbed there, though, you're safe. Number 47. This is a shirt that has outlived the brand. Transformers, but very specifically, the Autobots logo. I would like to say that the Autobot and Decepticon logos, pretty perfect pieces of artwork.
Nice stuff, yeah.
Yeah. Would you wear it though?
No. God no.
It has too much meaning. I'm not part of that fandom.
If they never made the movies, I probably would.
That's true. That's very true. Actually, I would agree with that. If it was still sort of a weird thing that only like 10 other people would ever recognize.
Yeah.
When you walk down the street, but the movie's completely ruined it.
Isn't that funny?
Number 46 is an interesting look at how you can take an item that everybody is familiar with, but then personalize it. Number 46 is the Punisher skull. And even though I know there's different versions of it, it's kind of crazy to think that you could trademark and sort of create your own brand of skull when skull is one of the most go-to images in our world of design.
I mean, it's pretty unique and different with the sort of long teeth.
It's a great skull, but it also, there's something about it. Get back to the fandom, like the Transformers. This just means douchebag to me. Like if you see this on somebody's car, or if you see a person wearing this, this is exactly the same as like having a big American flag lapel pin or something. It proclaims a certain something about yourself.
I think 20% of our audience listening probably right now owns.
I am very sorry.
Do you think Tony Mendez just took his shirt off and threw it in the garbage?
Yeah, Tony Mendez just got.
Damn it!
It's weird because if you look at where this comes from, it's a comic book, and I think they just did such a good job designing a badass skull that now it's been picked up by hundreds of thousands of douchebags who've never read the comic book. I mean, I just put in Punisher T-shirt, and like the Google Shopping comes across the top, and every single guy wearing one can probably bench maybe 400 pounds. I mean, it's just all these like massive fucking dudes who don't read comic books.
So I just dumped it into Google image search, and about row 4 is when people start putting the Blue Lives Matter flag inside of it.
Yeah, it's that.
Hey, my dad retired last year, and he finally figured out, like, we're like, Dad, just watch Netflix if you get bored. And so he finally gave in and did it. And he goes, Marky, I started watching this show and I love it. It's like one of the best shows I've ever seen. I'm like, what is it? He's like, it's about this guy who's like a cop and he's like fighting shit and stuff. His name's Frank Punisher. I'm like, oh yeah, Frank Punisher. I know who you're talking about. All right, number 45. This goes to show design doesn't matter. It's all about your subject matter. Austin 316.
Oh, God.
There's like no design. This is all culture and no design on this one.
Here's the thing. I bet you can quote what it is.
The 316 from John 3:16?
Yeah.
I have no idea what that fucking Bible verse is.
I don't know what it is either.
I feel like, I'm going to have to look it up.
Yeah.
It gets referenced in any kind of sport, right?
316. Yeah, but Austin version is the wrestling.
Right, it's the wrestler, but I've also seen it in
Stone Cold.
Yeah.
For God so loved the world that he gave
His only begotten son?
his one and only son. There we go.
So what the fuck does that mean for sports?
Really?
Yeah. I actually don't. It means you're the one, man. It means you're the
you're
go-to,
chosen-
probably.
you're
Jesus,
chosen
I
one.
believe you.
Oh,
You're
Jesus.
going to win the game because you're God's chosen one.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That's...
There you go.
Wow, that's pretentious as
If
fuck.
I was God,
That's worse than I thought it would be.
if every time somebody's like, I'd like to just thank God for helping us win the Super Bowl, tsunami on your house. And I don't care if you live in Colorado. I would just send a tsunami right to you. Like, you dickhead. I'm God. I'm so busy dealing with other shit, like ignoring all the kids in Africa. Number 44. Thundercats. This is something that doesn't really resonate with me. Billy, you're the Thundercats expert.
Yeah, I mean it's a very metal logo.
It
80s
is.
style.
I'm not sure I'd
metal
actually
logo.
recognize this just walking down the street because they never made a movie.
Well, it all depends on what they're talking about. The type is cool, but just the lion.
I'm sure
head
that's what they're talking about. The
part of the
silhouette logo.
is pretty awesome.
It is. And here's something interesting now. This and the Autobots is cut from the same cloth. I know they're also from the same time period, give or take a couple years.
Yeah.
But this goes to show if you want to make a sturdy mark, like an illustration for your brand, it's got to be where it can break down to just the silhouette of black or one color, negative, reverse, however you want to look at it. Because both of these are really, really sturdy. And with all the tricks and gimmicks that are available to illustrators now with the Creative Cloud, you see a lot of logos that could never break down this basic as these two.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, you're looking to make an icon, and that's what this
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, but also, okay, the clothes that you wear, they are supposed to be a representation of you, right?
Yeah.
So when we have Thundercats and Transformers and Punisher, these iconic logos, but they don't say I love the Punisher. Really, they don't. It doesn't say the Punisher. It just has the skull, right? So there's like a sort of an inside baseballness to it,
Yeah.
right? So it's sort of like there's a cool, quote unquote, coolness to it, right? Even the Austin 316 would fit in that category, right?
Right.
If you sort of self-identify, oh, this says I'm all about wrestling,
Right. Without saying WWE, though.
Without saying WWE, like my grandma, if I wear the shirt around my grandma, she won't get it.
No, she's stupid.
Right? Yeah, right. So it makes you it puts you in the inside club. The
Well, Mark and I had a big talk about that same thing about punk logos.
Yeah.
It used to be you'd see a kid on the street with a JFA shirt on, and you knew you could walk up to him and just start hanging out,
You
and
skate?
talking about JFA and skating and stuff because he was part of the club. And I feel like a lot of that's kind of going away because things go viral so quickly
Right.
now that could you make some funky thing and have other people not recognize it?
Well, I think a lot to what Billy's saying too, and think about the branding of Delicious is that the lion shirt. If you guys made a lion shirt or a lion pin or a baseball cap, that would be recognizable to us without having to wear a shirt that says design on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's an interesting way to look at it. And I think it's a cool thing too. Can you break that down to your client of like, this is the symbol of what you stand for? All right. Our next one up is Aerosmith, the Aerosmith logo. That's at 43. It's a band that I absolutely hate, but not the worst logo. It's a bit busy. I'm assuming that they're going with the Aerosmith type with the wings and the circle behind it. It's a bit busy, but for a band from their time period, like sometimes when it's colored right, it looks like Boston or Journey or God help me, Dan. There's a couple other ones that come from that.
Well, there's a time period here. This is sort of an early 70s.
Yeah.
And you can see the reference to the 60s in there in the typography. They really wanted to keep that sort of that Haight-Ashbury kind of thing. But by the 70s, arena rock had kind of moved in and taken over, and so a lot of the 60s bands were out, and everybody still had long hair and smoked weed, but it was a whole different scene. And so these 70s bands came along, and they were a lot louder and sort of what we actually think about as hard rock, as opposed to Jefferson Airplane. Would you really think about them as hard rock? So these are it's a reference to that period, but this is the whole arena rock period has a look.
Yeah.
And I think
Well, I'm sure fucking rock on that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's Sweden, but yeah, they sort of rock on that first album. So if the logo is from that era,
Yeah.
the sort of garage rocky era, it's kind of cool still. I wouldn't wear it, but it's kind of cool.
No.
I do kind of really hate the A with the wings and the circle. Like, I mean, that type's cool. The rest of it looks like a steering wheel. I don't know.
This is one of those logos, though, where it's grandfathered in because you know what it is, but nobody would commit to this today.
Unless you were Greta Von Fleet.
All right, coming up next on our list, we have the classic FBI t-shirt. And I think the FBI t-shirt, first off, would never wear one. I don't need that kind of problem in my life. I'm not in the FBI. I don't want to mess around with law enforcement or fuck around with them or make their world difficult or make my world difficult. Like, isn't this kind of like a an FU to the man, like a douchebag's rebellious t-shirt?
But they all say female body inspector underneath it. Like, it's not, you don't actually ever get one that says FBI where you're walking around with a real Fed shirt. It's always it's back to the douchey thing, you know? It's like, it's like girl repellent.
Billy, opinion? Are you brewing?
I don't understand. I'm trying to think who would wear an FBI t-shirt? Like, who is that for? Who would do that? I don't know.
Once again, a lot of these shirts, when I looked at this list, all I could see were like shops in New York City. You know, like the tourist shop or sort of the Spencer's, or, you know, now it's the Hot Topic, like that kind of, whereas a lot of this ends up. All right, our next one on our list, this is, I think, one of the greatest rock and roll logos of all time. It's very, very simple. Run DMC.
Oh, yeah.
This one I would wear. This one means something to me. I love the Run DMC mark.
All right. It's a bad logo, though.
Oh, give it to me.
Good in that everybody knows it, and it's very straightforward, and you can see the name of the band and all that stuff. But as a logo, any three of us would present this to a client, even in 1981, and they'd run you out of the room. I mean, they'd be like, "Okay, I paid you to do what?" You know.
Well,
so I mean, this logo has been ripped off so many times. It's such a classic. It has so much meaning. You know, this Run DMC was. I mean, I was into Run DMC before I was into punk.
Me too.
Like hip hop was my first love. And you know, Run DMC were hip hop for the first couple years there, but yeah, it's not a good logo.
Ironic that they did the crossover hit with Aerosmith.
True.
Oh, Billy, bringing it all together. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, the Run DMC logo, I guess when you break it down that way, like if I turn this, that's a good thing to add to tonight's discussion. If you turn it into a client, you know, what would the reaction be? Or if this was on a sheet of logos that you did, would you be excited for your peers to see the work that you're turning in? And the answer is no, but it's iconic and it fits, you know, like it's a perfect square, almost a perfect square, depending on who makes it. And the fact that they pick their names to line up like that, you know, like I would love to know how much planning of naming went into the branding. Because it's not their birth names. I mean, they could have been whatever.
Here's what's interesting about this shirt to me is that it's become such an iconic shirt that there are parody shirts of it.
Tons of them.
Right? There's a Darth Vader one I'm seeing right here. You know, they can use the hamburger stack, and it sort of if you're in the know, you get it, right? That's when you know you've created your brand has reached a level of iconicness.
I see this shirt more in my life now as Run LBC. There's like a running club in Long Beach that has taken this over, and you see them everywhere. Yeah, and because it's only 2 letters off, you're always like, oh no, it's a running club. It's, you know what I mean? Like it's just enough for my dyslexic brain to be like, oh no, no, you're not cool. All right, coming up.
I would wear this shirt.
Oh, absolutely. I'd wear it in black or white.
I would not wear it.
Yeah, I could understand that, Billy. It'd look good with your new sleeve.
But you were into Madonna when these guys were cool.
I wasn't into anything.
Burn. Fucking Billy Burn.
Gummy bears.
Fucking Billy Burn. I love it. Hey, friends. Today's episode and all episodes are always made possible by jackprince.com. Jackprince.com's got a 15% off sticker order going right now. But But let me tell you how flexible they are to work with and why I love working with this company and why they've made every sticker we've ever produced. You can get 5 designs within one order. Split your sticker order up with different artwork as long as they're the same shape, size, and stock. So think about it. If you wanted to put in an order or make some cool holiday merchandise, as long as you kept them all 3-inch circles or 5-inch stars, whatever the die cut, it doesn't matter. Whatever the shape, it doesn't matter. You could work the same artwork into that template. So imagine if my friends over at DKNG, they wanted to take their icons and make a suite of stickers. They could do that with no setup fees, no hidden fees. They could just say, we need 50 of each of these, or we need 25 of each of these. Jack Prince doesn't care because they're here to make your life easier. They've got all the equipment. They got all the people. They just love making rad shit for cool people. And guess what? You qualify. Head over to jackprince.com/circle of trust. Tell them Adventures in Design sent you. Get that 15% off order and get creative. Make a suite of stickers for your company, for your brand, or something to send out to your guests to tell them that you had fun working together in 2018 and you can't wait to crush it and invoice the hell out of them in 2019. It's jackprince.com/circle of trust. Why are you not putting in a sticker order right this minute? Number 40, Gucci, the Gucci logo. Okay, so recently I went into the Gucci store, and
What, you were in? Don't they have a guard who like kind of screens people?
no, not the one in the mall here at the South Coast Plaza.
I was thinking about getting this tattooed on my face.
Stand in line, motherfucker. I went into their store, and I really started to think it's one of the greatest pranks ever on society, Gucci. And me and my friend Mike Hammer, who's a crazy shopper and has his own brand, Violent Gentleman, we theorized that at the end of the season, all of these $7,000 cardigans that don't sell, they have to destroy that merchandise. There's no way they can let...
It can't be out there.
Yeah, it's got to either get sold or get destroyed. There can be no in between to keep the facade of Gucci going.
Yeah.
I just saw a big thing on that. A lot of brands do that. They burn it.
Makes sense.
So it doesn't get out there and go to TJ Maxx.
If your margins are right, it does make sense. Okay, coming up next
Wait, would you wear a Gucci t-shirt?
Hell
Fuck no.
No. Oh, we didn't even talk about the logo. Jesus.
It's also not even a good... I mean, again, this isn't a good... I mean, I guess, okay, it's not a bad logo.
Right.
No, I mean,
It's just two Futura G's facing each other. Like, it's
kind of
I don't know.
I mean, it's not horrible. I mean, I could... if I could fucking talk, it's like 9-inch nails. Like, it's just, I mean,
Yes.
that the 2 G's next to each other, it is an iconic. I mean, you don't like it because it's fucking Gucci, but I can see that working for basically anything else in the world.
Good point. I guess I always really kind of hope my logos are going to do something special.
Yeah.
Like just do something do something for me. I want to look at it and go like, oh yeah. Like, and I want to have a moment with that logo where like it kind of tells me something or does something for me. And particularly ones that are just made out of like a letter are just such a bummer. It's like, oh, I mean, unless I look again and I'm like, oh shit, the UCCI is also in there. I didn't even see it at first or whatever, the Aero and FedEx, like stuff like that. At least it gives me something. But when it's just like, oh yeah, we're Honda and we have an H on the front of our cars, you're like, cool, thanks, that's nice. I don't know.
Does the Gucci logo fall into that make a logo out of your initials task that we all had to do back in college?
Yes.
I'm doing one right now for a distillery.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. And we did one for Kristen Picciolini last year.
Who's that?
I just finished a logo and I had a lot of back and forth with the client about trying to make it symbolic of something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm like, look, we can't just, do that. Like, what does that mean? Like, why is this your logo as opposed to somebody else's logo? Like, how is this special to you?
Yeah, we just kind of went for the right feel.
Well, some stuff is like that. I mean, have you ever done anything for like a wine brand? Like, they just love those monograms. Like, make us look like an old country. Like, I want a real flourishy letter A in a square.
Yeah.
And you're like, cool. And it takes you 3 minutes to do it. And,
moving up our list, number 39, the Anarchy Symbol.
Sure.
Now, the Anarchy Symbol, I was one of those douchebags that was guilty of having the notebook that had the peace symbol on it and the Anarchy symbol. And probably at some moment, I was the douchebag that had a Mercedes logo because I didn't know to make a peace sign, you got to go all the way down with that vertical line.
All right, but were you guilty of spelling Mark with an Anarchy A at any point in your life?
I don't think I ever did that.
Because
Did
I
you,
used to write
Dan?
Dan on my artwork in high school with an Anarchy A.
Nice.
The Anarchy symbol is pretty perfect. You know, it's just an A. You put a circle around it. If you do it right, it's easy to put the angst and emotion into the mark. I'm going to say it's a pretty perfect mark.
Absolutely. I think it is a perfect mark. Would I wear it? No.
No.
Yeah,
God,
hell no.
No.
But I still write my name with an A, the Anarchy symbol.
Please bring that back for all of 2019.
Billy's going to start doing it too.
Billy with an A. All right. It's kind of funny. We went from Gucci to Anarchy. Now let's go back to the Gucci camp with the Chanel logo, which is basically the same gimmick as Gucci, although
The Gucci logo.
give me if I had to pick one that I think's better than the other, I'm going to go with the Chanel logo because of
Smells better.
the sans serif font.
Yeah, so well, it's also symmetrical. Without that, it doesn't have the goddamn. What's the crossbar and the G called, Billy?
A
The
Guten
crossbar and the
Tonk.
G.
Yeah, the Guten Tonk.
Thank you.
It doesn't have that on there, and it just makes a much nicer mark. Like this is elegant looking.
Yeah. I still wouldn't wear this shirt.
No,
but
God,
it's better.
no.
But it's better than Gucci. Yeah.
All right, moving up our list, number 37, The Godfather. This is a good logo. This is a really good logo.
It's Saul Bass.
I think it is.
I think it is a Saul Bass.
Yeah, which
Yeah, fucking classic. That guy was a genius.
I mean, this is a really strong mark, and this is
Here's the question, though.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think it's a real. I think this is a. For me, I'm real on the fence on this one. Would you wear it or not?
No.
What about to mow the lawn? Would you wear it to mow the lawn?
I don't mow my lawn, so no. The Godfather. Okay, what makes this iconic and kind of what's missing today is this is hand lettering, right? So you come up with a good game plan, you make things match, you kind of cut corners, and you make design decisions to make things look like a logo and fit together. Am I right, Dan?
Yes, that is true.
But also, it does what Dan was talking about.
Which
it
is?
says something. It's not just like this is not nearly as good if it's just the letters.
Yeah, no, it needs that marionette hand in there. I mean, that's
right.
There's so much meaning to that. I mean, the whole thing about Saul Bass in particular was that he was really about symbology, which I am too. But everything he does is a symbol for something.
Yeah.
Like that's everything he did. He broke it down to like how can I visually depict this story in one symbol or two symbols?
Yeah.
And that's why all of his stuff is so strong. And even if stylistically it goes in and out of style, like the meaning behind this is permanent until people stop recognizing what a marionette controller thing looks like, which I'm sure my kids wouldn't know what this fucking thing is.
Really? Godfather 1 or 2, guys. 1 or 2.
Only one.
One. Definitely one.
I'm in the one camp too.
Yeah,
well.
I think it's a much superior film. 2's good though.
I agree.
But I mean, if you ask me 3, I'm always going to go 3.
Better. I
3?
feel like 2 better.
3's great.
Three really is the best of the series.
Really? I actually haven't seen it because people talk so much shit about
Oh,
it.
it's
It's so
bad.
bad.
It's
Okay.
don't. It's real bad.
It's like The Matrix. Any of the other ones, they're just like, oh, good.
I took that challenge too. I'm like, it can't be that bad. And I was like, oh, it's as bad as people make it out to be. One of my favorite things about the Stanley Kubrick exhibit that was at LACMA here in LA was there was all of the original pencils that Saul Bass had turned in for The Shining, and Kubrick's notes were so offensive. It would just be
So
like
harsh.
It was like not even trying, not legible. Come on, and I'm like, wow. If Saul Bass is like what you could strive for in our industry and he got shit on, it just means that we're an industry of people that are always going to get shit on. Like it really put the whole world of design in perspective to me. That it's like, like imagine seeing notes where it's like, Elvis, try harder tonight. Like put a little bit more into it, fat boy. And it was just like this was the guy who's the man getting shit on by a client.
Yeah, I think when at least this is my story. When I first started with my first job, I had thin skin. I was fragile. I wasn't.
Yeah.
But to survive in this industry, you got to develop some thick fucking skin.
You got to toughen up.
Dan?
Yeah, I think at a certain point you just gotta kind of realize that like it's just a thing you made. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you did your best, or maybe you didn't, and you made a thing, and like somebody doesn't like the thing, and well, okay, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's not you they're insulting. It's just this thing you made, which may or may not actually be any good, or maybe they suck. Who knows? You know? And so that's how, at least me, I developed a certain amount of emotional detachment from it in order to not get wounded every time. Because really, I mean, I think in order to be in any kind of creative career, it attracts a certain amount of sensitive people. You can't be insensitive, because if you're insensitive, it means you're not paying a whole lot of attention to the world. You're just kind of barging through, which wouldn't make you a very good designer. You know, I mean, I think in order to be a good designer, you need to be sensitive to what's going on around you, but you need to learn how to kind of desensitize yourself to the abuse you're going to get, because the abuse is coming.
I think one of the brightest things that Billy ever said, and this really sticks with me, is the reason why so many designers tend to be liberal in their politics and their beliefs is because it takes a lot of empathy to be a designer, because part of your job is trying to really understand what people need out of your design work. Like, how do you communicate with the customer, or how do you make the client happy? And it's weird that part of our brain is designed to make people happy, but then another part of our brain is a firewall to people that are shitting on what we do, because we're three great examples of everybody has an opinion about art and design.
The premise of this show is shitting on people's work. You know?
All right, number 36.
Fuck you, Saul Bass.
Yeah, you piece of shit. Number 36, Woodstock Festival logo.
Wouldn't wear it as a t-shirt.
I wouldn't wear it as a t-shirt, but it does pull a nostalgia chord. Like I see
honestly,
it takes me somewhere.
An original poster of this somewhere that I could buy. I might buy it. I may not even hang
registration.
It, but I might buy it.
Yeah. The when it's broken down to one color too, which I know is an original, because it's
that's cool.
The one color, it's pretty cool, but you know, the crudeness of it, the way that it's put together, it's pretty perfect for its time and what it stood for.
And it really has a ton of meaning. You know, there you go. You know, it's a symbol of something, and you can see that, and you can understand the symbol without even knowing what the hell it's for.
Everything we're looking at is iconic, and that's why it's on the fucking list, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
But would I wear it? No. I wouldn't.
Not even mowing the lawn?
No.
Okay, yeah, mowing the lawn. I wear whatever mowing the lawn.
I gotta pay Robert from Chicago to go over to Billy's house with one of those long cameras from across the street and take some photos of the lawn mowing attire, because I have a feeling there's a real wild scene going on that front lawn. All right, Red Hot Chili Peppers is number 35.
Just an asterisk.
That's what I was going to say. Like, didn't they just take, hey, this thing on the keyboard that nobody knows what it is or how to use it? We could just borrow that. And then symbolically, it is all four of them laying on their backs holding hands.
It's not just all of them standing there with their dicks hanging out.
That's old school, man.
It's iconic as fuck.
Yeah,
I mean, I would wear it, but okay, there's plenty of bands that are Red Hot Chili Peppers level.
Yes.
Right? Not that many, but there's plenty. Whoever designed the shirt fucking hit a home run. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're right. Absolutely right.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. I love the fact that they didn't. Okay, so we kind of talked about like the Transformers logo and stuff like that, and there's no words on it.
Right.
Well, this kind of does that in a different way, because there's no like spacing between the words.
Right.
They all run together.
But
So
we
it kind
know.
of creates this. Yeah, so it kind of creates this just more like a pattern.
Yeah.
So back to the client thing. If somebody came to you, because I mean, I get asked fairly regularly to do band shirts, and I oftentimes turn them down because there's just no budget. It's just as hard to design as anything else, and yet you're not going to pay me for it. Like, fuck off.
And you're going to make a ton of money off of it.
Yeah. But I kind of feel like if I came up with something this simple, they'd reject it.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't look like you tried very hard.
Yeah.
Which I don't really,
That's the problem.
I don't think that's true, but
that's a problem, and I'm guilty of this. I would never turn this in because I would think that I cheated myself and the client. But so I would come up with something that was over technical, over thought out, that wouldn't go the long haul. Like,
Yeah.
if we save any lives in this episode, it would be that somebody right now who's brand new is like, what can I do in 10 minutes? And just send it out, man. Just fucking send that 10-minute guy out. Like, keep it simple, keep it as plain as possible. Like, because of their colorway, red, white, and black, you could give this to us in any way, any order, any colorway, any combo, and we would know what it is. And how great is that for your band to just easily be able to put this symbol on all of your road cases, on your CD, on your vinyl? Like, it's just a perfect little mark that they can drop anywhere and take ownership of whatever they're doing.
Yeah, and that's everything we've looked at. That's pretty much everything we've looked at so far. You could kind of rubber stamp it on anything, and that's what a symbol does.
Yeah.
And I feel like now more and more, everybody wants a symbol, but they don't understand what a symbol is. They come to you asking for one, and then you show them one. They're like, "Well, that's just a."
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Question: does it take bravery or laziness to make a logo like this in today's world?
Luck.
Well,
Luck.
I mean, I can see how you could be an illustrator in 3 seconds, like draw the box and then duplicate, draw a circle around it, bang, But you don't actually know. I mean, I don't know who designed this, and I'm not going to make a big story about it, but they might have spent this might have been 1 of 10 they designed, or, maybe it was more complicated and they simplified it, or maybe there's a big story behind this. I don't know. Well,
they have in their videos, they've shown all 4 of the guys laying in a cross.
Yeah.
And then I reach out and hold the guy's hand next to me, and from above, that does make the symbol. They're a 4-piece band.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But what came first?
Yeah, totally, Billy. I would love to know that, because that's a really good way to back into this logo and give it some sort of sense.
So quick story. I just did a band logo and t-shirt design 2 weeks ago for our Upton's client, because I'm friends with the owner. They're a long-term client, so that means when they come asking for a favor, you do it.
Of course.
Right? So his 90s ska band was having a reunion show, so they needed some t-shirts for their show in Detroit.
Nice.
Some merch. Yeah.
Ska in Detroit. That goes together like peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah. So it was a pretty good design, but simple as fuck. Took me like 15 minutes to do.
Did he love it?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. I think it's great. I found like an old clip art snake. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then I ran their band name up and down, and it like went in and out of the snake.
Perfect.
Bang, bang, boom. Done.
The old snake gimmick. I love it.
The old snake. Just put a snake on it. People will wear it. It's fine. Don't overthink it.
Done. Number 34, the famous John Lennon New York City shirt.
And this is such a cool shirt, but it's so like owned by Lennon's brand or identity that I would feel like a fucking poser wearing it.
Yeah, I know what you mean, because I mean, he was one of the greatest artists of the 20th century, and he, in these photos of him wearing this shirt, I mean, you want to talk about modeling? He fucking owns this shirt. I mean, the ringer with the fucking sleeves cut off.
Yeah.
Just a total badass. And just the way that he's owning it. And like, he wasn't from New York City. I mean, this is a fucking British dude. And he's just...
He moved there.
Yeah, I know. And he died there. This is just complete ownership of it. But looking at the mark, it's pretty great. It's perfectly sloppy, and it's pretty fucking great.
Nice. And the weird thing is, I'm looking at again, the Google shopping bar keeps popping up at the top, and there's all these versions of it for sale, and like you can see the bad ones. It's such a simple maneuver, and yet I'm looking at 4 of them right now, and 3 of them are wrong.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
It's like, Jesus Christ, if you're going to knock something off, like knock it off properly. Like, look at the fucking leading on that thing.
Let's talk about this. Who's the fucking idiot? Who's the fucking idiot that's going to wear a shirt of John Lennon wearing a shirt? Fucking what moron is that guy?
Me.
Billy stands up.
Billy.
If you live in Chicago, it's kind of sacrilegious to wear New York stuff.
Yeah, because you guys know you suck.
Like, you can wear Madison, you can wear Milwaukee, you can wear St. Louis, you can wear Cincinnati, whatever the feeder city you were from. That's totally cool. But wearing New York shit in Chicago it's a total douche move.
I kind of feel like wearing New York shit anywhere, unless you're in New York, is a little bit like presumptuous, isn't it? You know, I mean, I guess unless you're like a big Yankees fan or something. But
I kind of feel like if I were to be in New York City wearing something that said New York on it, I would want to actually live in New York. Like I would just feel dumb. Like I wear a lot of Louisville and Kentucky stuff because that's where I'm from.
Yeah.
I wear a lot of Los Angeles and Orange County and Long Beach stuff.
People think you're from,
because that's where I pay taxes. And like I don't know, I don't. But then again, if I have a Cubs hat and I wear it sometimes because it reminds me of all my buds out there and going to see the Cubs and going to Desi's first baseball game, So I don't know. I guess it's what you equate to the emotions. But New York City is kind of one of those things where it's just so big and a lot of like, I love America, I wear this shirt. You know what I mean? Like it's just like a weird thing. All right, moving up our list. 33, Planet Hollywood. Pass.
Oh God. Okay.
Pass.
All
Is the
right.
company even still around?
Yeah, there's still one in Hollywood, I think.
Really?
I think so.
Oh, they went everywhere for a while.
Number 32, Knights in Satan's Service. Or keep it simple, stupid. Either way, Kiss at number 32.
Ooh,
Kiss,
classic.
fucking dude, ballsy move to put the SS logo.
That's true. But that's
kind of
before people I don't know. Did anybody give a shit about that back then?
No, it was the 70s. Smoke weed and get laid. Who gives a fuck if it has a political connotation to it?
Total badass 70s logo. One of the kings of the 70s rock band logos.
Yeah.
It's weird because you can always tell during a period somebody makes the king logo and everybody knocks it off. Like Metallica came up with one with the little, the M and the A have the little sort of downward horns on the edges.
Right.
And then suddenly every metal band for the next 5 years had some kind of variation on the curve with the points on either end. Didn't matter who you were, but you always wound up working that kind of style into your mark. So you could always tell who did it first and who did it best.
Dan, are you taking the Kiss logo that's just white and black? Are you taking the one that's just gold, or do you actually like the red to yellow gradient on it?
I feel like the gradient really works here, and I usually come on the show and just bitch and moan about gradients, but man, this one is just so cool.
The gradient one would only work for me if it was like, I hate to be this guy, but if it was actually on a vintage T-shirt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But this, looking at this logo through Google image search, it t-shirts well. It patches well. It is just made for marketing, and nobody's marketed more shit than those guys. And I tell you what I love about it. The SS visually is great. It's a little bit hard with how crazy the world's gotten to ignore kind of where that design-wise comes from. But my favorite thing about it is just how dumpy and sloppy the K is. It's just that bottom piece of the K is so great.
Yeah, it is funny. I wonder, if I was the designer on this, I would try to reflect those angles that are in the S's in the K.
Totally ignored it. Totally ignored it.
Really harsh. I mean, I think you're right, and I think my guess is that K is the original K, and the S's were drawn later.
Yeah,
and kind of just glommed onto the K and the I, which came from some typeface.
Yeah,
and they don't match at all. But this thing would be so harsh if the K was.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That would be sort of 10 years later metal. This is sort of 70s. They're hard rocking. They want to party all night, but they aren't just they aren't just grindcores.
Yeah,
but so I feel like eventually,
in my head, that's where it would have gone.
Yeah, but eventually, they kind of went there, and then logos got that really hard, angular look.
Why do I look?
Absolute right.
I look at this K, right? I'm just looking at the K, and I see everything about Gene Simmons. I look at that K and it feels like his stance. I feel like I can see his boots. I've never seen more personality in a single letter in all my life.
Yeah, that K is stepping out.
Wow, man. 31, the Ramones presidential seal. This is punk when you take ownership of something that is the president's seal and turn it into your band's logo and then sell a bazillion T-shirts.
I think this is a shirt I would wear. And I don't think people that wear it are douchebags.
No, Ramones are pretty cool.
Yeah.
it's so stupid, but so classic. You know what I mean? Like, again, this is one of those ones for anybody else, I'd be like, that's the dumbest fucking thing ever. But it's the Ramones, you know? So
Yeah.
And the fact they got their names around it doesn't even say Ramones. It's just their names, you know? It's like, it's so cool.
It's so cool too. Like, I never had a brother, but imagine if you had 3 other brothers and you guys just perfectly formed a band. Like, that is amazing to me that it worked out so well for those guys. So well. I mean, just like living in a clubhouse in New York City, and like, you know, one brother wants to sing, one wants to play bass, one wants to play drums, one wants to play guitar. Like, they just were the best of brothers ever. Hey friends, I hope you're enjoying today's logo show. What a different exploration this was, is looking at all of these t-shirt designs that many have been around, you know, as long as us, and thinking about, why are these designs, these images, cultural touch points? Like, why is this a language that we all speak, and you can just see one coming down the street or on the subway, and you just know things about the person that's wearing it or what the symbol stands for. My panel, Billy Baumann of Delicious Design League and Dan Stiles of danstiles.com. Thanks so much, guys, for hanging out with me and doing this deep dive. Today's episode is made possible by members of the Circle of Trust. This is a long one. This one runs, I think, 1:55 without my ad spots in it. So you want to be a Circle of Trust member. You want to get that additional hour of conversation. And you also want to hear the second half of our countdown. And as we go through all of these, we start to get an excitement. I think looking at all of this artwork and how easy a lot of it is, I think it started to do a little voodoo to both Dan and Billy, who are in the middle of doing enormous branding jobs right now. I think this is an episode that we got excited off of. If you're new to the show, by all means, over on iTunes, please give us a 5-star review. If you've been around for a while and you're enjoying it, please give us a review. That really helps new people find the show. It helps our ratings and rankings. And guess what, man? We're the oldest in the game. We're the only daily AID, Adventures in Design. It's the only daily talk show for creatives like you, and we've been around longer than everybody else. So let's make sure AID gets its fair share because of the plethora of content, inspiration, and our friends that come through and take their time to be on this platform. Let's help it grow so everybody gets a little bit more back and just keep growing that circle of trust. So 5-star comment, 5-star rating, or leave a comment. I would very, very much appreciate it. It does help. So if you're listening today, maybe for free, head over there and do us a solid, right? I mean, isn't a minute of your time worth the 2 hours that we put into creating this? And if you're a Circle of Trust member, maybe head over there and tell everybody this is a good time. I'm having a real good time. If you're a Circle of Trust member and you leave a comment, send me a screenshot of it. At the end of the week, I'm going to pick one of those screenshots at random, and I'm going to send you some, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll let you pick a free item from my Black Friday drop. That's right. There's some new items that are coming out for Black Friday. Circle of Trust member, leave a comment, send me a screenshot, and I'll pick one of you to give you a secret drop from our Black Friday sale. Some products only available to Circle of Trust members. Sign up today at AID.network to hear all of today's show and go back into the archives. Listen to all of Dan Stiles' appearances. Listen to all the logo shows. We've got so much for you. Over 850 episodes just like today, talking about the inspiration and fun of art, design, and doing something you love for a living. AID's been here to inspire you, to educate you, and to help you laugh and to have a good work day. Shouldn't you be there for AID? Sign up at AID.network. Become a member of the Circle of Trust today. Number 30, the Pepsi logo. Fantastic logo.
Which one?
Old
Yeah,
school.
the new ones. He's a
Dude,
dog
no,
shit.
no. They're talking about that old school 70s, 80s, the circle.
So good.
Probably
So
with
good.
probably
With
the
the
circle
swoosh.
breaking out of the rectangle, you know, where it's like there's the rectangle with the circle behind it. But
Yeah.
I'll even go farther. The fucking old school red, white, and blue cap with the scripty writing.
So
Yeah, the old
good.
Coca-Cola version.
So good.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah,
So good.
just beautiful. Everything about it's right.
Beautiful.
And that's why the new one's so bad, because everything about that's wrong. It's like, how could somebody who hopefully managed to make it through fucking design school not see the travesty that is the new one when they were doing it in Illustrator at 2 a.m? You know, like that is one you would dump it. You'd move it to the side of your work board and be like, nope, and move on like that. Ugh.
I would like to think that I have enough design morals that if they came to me, like let's say they came to me, they're like, we want to get rid of this. I would be like, sir, I cannot take this work from you. You are perfect. You are perfect the way you are. Or I would just take it and then like slide it back over to him and be like, I'm done.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
so
it could
good.
be one of those things where you just do minor tweaks to it.
Clean it up. That S is a little
Clean
weird.
it up.
Yeah. You could, maybe the spacing could use a little bit, but it's pretty perfect. All right, 29. We don't have to spend much time talking about this. 29. Choose life. I do love.
I wear one of these every day.
Oh, he's wearing it right now, mowing the lawn. The thing about Choose Life is whenever I see this, like if I see somebody wearing this, I'm like, oh, cool. I like Frankie Goes to Hollywood too. You remember the big relaxed shirts?
Yeah.
Or
Wasn't it George Michael who wore
No,
the Choose
this was
Life?
George Michael wore this in Wham.
yeah, but
Yep.
there was also the Frankie Goes to Hollywood.
Yeah,
They had
there
them
was
too.
Frankie
Like it was,
Relax.
yeah, it was kind of a thing. So now that I'm thinking about it, were they like fucking with pro-lifers?
Don't know. I don't know.
I always thought it was just a sort of, not really an anti-suicide, but just a, like, I don't know, choose to be happy and have a good time.
I was
and
thinking Choose Life
I
was a
don't think
pro-life shirt.
No, I don't think it became pro-life until later.
Oh.
Yeah.
Or ever.
Oh.
It is very confusing. Yeah.
I would choose to. I don't know. Who cares? Next up, 28. Led Zeppelin logo.
Ooh, which one? Zoso?
I'm assuming that they're
Swan
just. I'm assuming they're just talking about the classic Led Zeppelin typeface. You know
Because there's the Swan Song with Icarus, which is just a fucking beautiful one. The
Icarus
Zoso with
is
the four
cool.
symbols is beautiful.
I don't think they're talking about the Zofo. I think they're talking about the classic Led Zeppelin, where you know the E fits up into the L and
Super Art Deco,
super Art Deco.
a Macintosh style
Yeah,
typography.
It's pretty good. I mean,
Fucking rad.
it's pretty fucking good.
What about the bubble letter one? Kind of into it. Kind of into that one.
The
Was it bubble letter one?
What?
Like the one I drew on my notebook in 7th grade?
I saw a bubble letter one.
No.
Sorry.
Dude,
Sorry. It's like more psychedelic.
the Zofo, the 4 symbols,
Mm-hmm.
is rad. Like it looks like
Yeah,
it looks like
so
witchcraft. It
fucking
looks
good.
scary. It's like everything rock and roll should be.
Yep. Well, this was back when you could have a mystique around your band because you weren't like on Twitter every day making yourself look like a moron.
What's up?
Nobody really knew anything about these guys.
What's up, Zofo fam? Just getting ready to go out on stage tonight. Hey, Robert, what's up, bro? You know, just like, could you even imagine?
Okay. Are you wearing the Zeppelin shirt?
Yeah, I'd wear one.
I've actually been looking for one of these for a while. I want the one, at least on the page I brought up, the one with the Swan Song, the Icarus.
Icarus.
But it's really hard to get ones that are like right. Like they still make them, but they're wrong. They're not the ones that were out in the 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't want that.
It's a pretty perfect logo. And the fact that you really only ever see it in white and black or gold and black makes it even cooler. Like this doesn't look good red, white, and blue. You know, like it looks perfect in the colorway that it is. All right.
Here's the thing though, guys.
Go ahead.
All three of us are married.
Yeah.
We're old. We're out of the market.
Yeah.
We can wear whatever T-shirt we want to.
I like that's your rule.
Okay, so I know Mark wears a lot of printed stuff. I own like maybe 3 shirts that are printed. Like all of my shirts are blank.
Right.
Like I don't like wearing logos. Like I would even buy like a sweatshirt if the logo is too, like even the little like symbol, the Adidas symbol or whatever is too big.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be branded with anything anywhere.
Yeah.
Which is also part of being old. But I don't really I don't try to get my identity from the shit I wear anymore, which is the opposite of how I was when I was 16.
Sure.
I'm still 16. 27. Here's a good thing about this logo. Technically, I believe that I own it. And I think that Dan does, and I'm pretty sure Billy does, the NASA logo.
Why would the fuck would I own that?
Because it's public domain. All the NASA
meatball or the old one?
I'm assuming they're talking about the NASA logo inside inside the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, the meatball.
Here's the thing. I did buy one of those. It was too tight, so I gave it to my wife. I don't have one.
I still see this, and I can remember getting sent home from school when I was in the 5th grade for saying, "Hey, you know what NASA stands for? Need another 7 astronauts."
Oh my gosh.
So here's a NASA question: Is the Circle Planet Meatball one the original, or is the funky ass '70s one with the weird ass type? With like the V's for A's.
That's a good question.
That is a really good question.
Because that one is my favorite. And there's this graphics manual that got reprinted for this. It's like 120 pages long that all the designers are jizzing over. That you can buy it now. It's the original like brand guide for this logo for the A with the no crossbar.
Yes.
So good.
I'm pretty sure that I know this correctly, that all of the NASA stuff is in the public domain. So any of the photos that the ships take, you can use them in your artwork.
Yeah.
Their logos, their branding, like the amazing posters that Invisible Creature did a couple years ago, completely in the public domain. Like Invisible Creature can't even own those posters because it says